I see what you did there. Arkansas has named their starter for tonight. Freshman right-hander Jackson Wiggins will be the starting pitcher. He is 3-1 this year with a 4.71 ERA. This will be his fourth start. He has 4 saves. He's kind of / their closer of the future. 21 innings, 26 strikeouts. So, here's the deal with Arkansas baseball. You're a fan of music. I don't know that you're a fan of country music, but was he on American Idol? You know Bobby Bones?
Yeah. He's a famous radio DJ, yeah.
In Nashville.
Yeah.
But wasn't he on American Idol? Was he one of the judges or something?
I believe this season. Yeah, I think he's one of the new
judges.
judges.
He is a diehard Arkansas fan. He is a diehard Arkansas baseball fan. When they were here a couple of years ago, he came up to talk to Bubba. Bubba Carpenter is one of their color analysts. Mm-hmm. I'm not making that up. Don't, just because a guy is in Arkansas is named Bubba. But good guy. He's been on his show before. He is the color guy with Phil Elson, who was the play-by-play guy for Arkansas. But Bobby Bones was hanging out, and he was decked out like in a Florida baseball, or Arkansas baseball uniform. Mm-hmm. We did a little listening in during the break on what sports talk in Arkansas is like. It was one game. Nebraska beat Arkansas last night 5-3 to force a winner-take-all. I understand Arkansas is thinking about winning a national championship. It was one game. You were 46-10 before the weekend started. You're good. But you would get the sense that people are really, really nervous about tonight. The game, by the way, is sold out. Also, Arkansas fans, they're okay with Nebraska fans because they wanted to play football. That's one of the calls. Apparently, the Nebraska fans that are there have had a good time with Arkansas fans, and Arkansas fans are cool with Nebraska fans because they wanted to play football. Now, there is another storyline. All we are seeing is some of the reaction and the pictures. Zach from the Omaha World Herald had a great shot of Mojo Hagee interacting with the left field fans. They call that the pig pen. Just listening in, apparently there is more to this story. Like, it crossed the line last night on things that were said to Mojo Hagee. Listen, Verz told the story. If you go by Mojo, you've heard it all your entire life, okay? And unless you intimately know him, you're not calling him John Morris. People call him Mojo. So he's probably heard every different way to say his name. But some Arkansas fans say that it crossed the line last night and things that were being said to him. I imagine that will continue tonight. But Channel 3 Sean turned us on to this. I thought he was maybe just kidding. Those people are really concerned that Nebraska is going to win tonight. The best team in the country. It was one game. Kudos for Nebraska. What they did, because not many teams have gone in there. Arkansas was 28-5 prior to last night at home. This is going to be fun. 6 o'clock tonight, Nebraska and Arkansas. Randy writes in the Equitable Bank inbox, the discussion about announcers being on site. Let's stick with baseball for a moment, with announcers. Some Major League Baseball announcers are starting to travel. The Chicago White Sox TV and radio are traveling. The White Sox have reached the threshold of vaccinations. I've been told the White Sox are close to 100%.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah. Where there's other teams, like the Cubs are a long way away and the Royals are still a ways away. Just get the shot, man. Okay? It is a distinct advantage. So their announcers are traveling. But I believe that everybody else in Major League Baseball is still doing every game from your own ballpark. You hear the Royals here on the Zone. That whole crew, just like the TV guys, they go to the K every single day. The Royals might be out in Anaheim tonight with Jackson Kowar making his Major League Baseball debut on the mound. They'll be at the K doing the game. I've heard through different sources that July 4th is a day that they're looking at to get announcers back on the road. But ESPN, for the most part, outside of their NBA guys, I think they have done everything remote. The only time that I can recall announcers from ESPN this spring being on site have been at Hoover, Alabama for the SEC championship and the Women's College World Series in Oklahoma City. It's my understanding there are no announcers for ESPN on site in the 16 regionals.
Wow.
Kyle Peterson was on the other day. Last night he was doing the Ole Miss, Southern Miss game, and he was remote. I think in 2 weeks he'll be in the booth here in Omaha doing the College World Series. But ESPN's Major League guys have never come out of a studio. At least they have Vasgersian and A-Rod do the games next to each other in their studio in Bristol instead of being remote. So Randy's email here in the Equitable Bank inbox, have enjoyed baseball all weekend, whether on my computer or thankfully last night on my television. Please tell me that the individuals that are announcing will not be there tonight, that it will be a different crew, and how come I can see an inside the park home run and they can't, which happened yesterday. I've said this, someone who has spent this year doing football and basketball remotely for some games, it's not easy. You rely on the camera angles at the ballpark. You rely on other people. You're not with your color analyst. They're somewhere else. If you've never worked with them, it can be kind of awkward. It's difficult. It hasn't been a great broadcast coming out of Fayetteville. I don't think either one of them have worked together before. So it's that odd get to know each other. What are we going to talk about? What's our angle? Hey, you played in the majors. You had a good college career. Let's build that up. But also not knowing what the home studio is, you don't see what we see on TV, which it would be ridiculous that you would miss an inside the park home run. So, Randy, I feel for everybody that's trying to pull this off. I hope we are getting closer to announcers being back in arenas, back in stadiums, because when you're there, you are impacted by the noise, the atmosphere, the energy, but also you can see the whole big picture. You're not just trying to call something off of a monitor. And maybe the camera doesn't move quickly that you can't see, all right, where the runners are, where the ball is. Watching this weekend, I also have the feeling that they don't have as many camera people on site as they usually do. Like instead of a 5 or 6 camera shoot, it is maybe 3 or 4, which adds to the difficulty of somebody trying to call it remotely. And then you get some, they might also be running some cameras remotely. And you don't get great angles, or you get a lot of wide shots. So it's been tough. It's been tough on everybody. I think we're doing the best that we can. And when you have a lot of people that are paying attention this weekend, any little miss, people are going to talk about. Hopefully tonight they'll have their best broadcast of the entire regional, because there will be plenty of people that will be tuning in on ESPN2 at 6 o'clock tonight. All right, the last hour upcoming. George wants to talk about this. I got questions about what happened last night in Denver.
I got answers.
When Mexico and USA play, you have this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh man.
One quick little, I'm asking because I don't follow soccer enough, but whenever Captain America is playing and what he did to the Mexican fans last night after his PK, I was here for it, Mr. Pulisic.
I'm with it.
Shouldn't this be what the Mexican fans did last night, hurling bottles and slurs? Shouldn't this be more of a story?
I think so. It has to be.
I'm maybe looking in the wrong place. We got a lot of talk about the NBA and Julio Jones, and we've got baseball on in the studio. Seems like this and the idiots that were running on a field or tried to attack the CBS crew, that this should be a bigger story. Big story that the U.S. won with a very young team.
Yeah.
But the antics of the fans, I think, in a stretch of where we've talked about the antics of fans in NBA arenas, this should be like a big story.
And maybe it's not because of the fact that
it's expected?
I wouldn't say expected, but it happens more often in soccer arenas, especially like in Europe and stuff. But I'm with you. It definitely needs to be more of a story. It has to be more of a story because that's dangerous.
They had a pause last night because of the slurs that were being chanted.
Yeah. And I know that rivalry is heated. I know they get into it, but it should never come to that. Ever.
The multiple idiots that were on the field.
Yeah. Multiple.
But the best way to shut some of those people up is to score and then do this. While bottles are being hurled towards you.
Oh, man.
Yeah, there was... You probably watched that last night and thought, okay, they're playing in Mexico.
You would have thought.
They're playing in Denver.
Yeah.
Now, one more hour to go on this Monday. We'll check back in with 103.7 The Buzz in Little Rock. Breaking down the pigs. It's been an incredible athletic year for Arkansas athletics. They have had a fantastic year in the SEC. But one of the sports that they're most passionate about, baseball, they are gripping. They are gripping big time down in the state of Arkansas prior to tonight's 6 o'clock first pitch between Nebraska and Arkansas to go to the Super Regional. We're back with more of the Gary Sharp Show. There's George. I'm Gary on 1620 The Zone.